New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, good evening on a Friday evening here on the 16th day of August. Man, summer's going by really quick here. Well, good evening to you. I am Reverend Michael Mangus, and this is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. And we are broadcasting, like always, from the super secret concrete bunker located somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that especially my boss, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, he has no clue where the top secret bunker is located. And we are going to keep it that way. Now, he told me that he sent me checks in the mail and that they got returned. He didn't send it to my mailing address. He tried to send it to the top secret bunker, and my security team got a hold of that. All right. Well, good to see everyone this evening. We do have a wonderful show for you, and please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments on Facebook or on YouTube. And again, all my shy people out there, I know you're out there. You don't want to go on the air. I got that. Sometimes I don't want to go on the air either. But if you would like to contact me, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. I do not read them during the show. However, I do read them during the week. So pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com if you would like to get a hold of me. So the purpose of our fireside chat here is to talk about contemporary issues from a new thought and or spiritual perspective. And as I keep saying, I want us all to have a new thought about the news and what is going on around us. So in the past, in New Thought and spiritual circles, again, that a lot of this stuff that's happening was swept under the rug and not at least taken a look at. So now we have a new thought about that. A new thought of let's take a look at it and see how we can be a part of making a world that does work for all the way from the great state of Tennessee. We have back on the airwaves because he works inexpensive.
As in for free.
We welcome back Divine Science Minister Jeff Radcliff. And Jeff always has a comment or two that usually gets me into trouble during the Monday morning meeting with Reverend Brzezinski.
I have a knack. What can I say? Yeah. It's a gift.
No. Oh,
I don't know where it comes from.
Okay.
Spirit gave it to me.
Oh, Spirit gave it. It's one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. talked about in Corinthians, right?
Yep.
The gift of creating hell. Is that correct?
Raising a whole lot of
Raising a whole lot of hell.
And you know that's funny, and I'll have to go look. It's in Isaiah somewhere. I can't remember the exact chapter and verse, but a lot of people have bought into the idea that there is God and a devil, and that they're separated. God is in heaven, the devil is in hell. But the Bible, if you go back and look at it in Isaiah, quotes God as saying, I bring worlds into being and I destroy them. I give you good, but I can also create evil. And so that tends to freak a lot of people out. So that's why we as New Thought folks don't believe in duality. We only believe in the one power, which is spirit, which is God. And, so that other stuff,
Nah.
we just let it go.
Yeah.
We're like Elsa in the commercial. We let it go. Or
we let it go. Yes, just let it go.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we braced for impact?
I don't have any seatbelts, but
All right. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris made a joint appearance in Maryland on Thursday at an event focused on prescription drug costs. The Biden administration announced the result of a historic Medicare drug price negotiation that will save an estimated $6 billion when lower prices take effect for some medicines in 2026. The negotiation program has been a central talking point of the White House's effort to lower the cost of living for more Americans, including seasoned citizens, a key voting bloc. The powerful drug or pharmaceutical industry, which has long fought against allowing Medicare to negotiate prices, has been trying to stop the negotiation process, filing multiple lawsuits in federal court across the U.S., contending that the program is unconstitutional in various ways. What's up with that? Why can't the government go ahead and negotiate drug prices?
They wrote it. They wrote the law that way. Ask whoever did that. I can't answer that question. Why they would do that, I have no idea. But they wrote it in the law, and they can change the law if they want to.
It wasn't that long ago when they were charging a lot of money for insulin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money, and that, to the several hundreds of dollars per vial, and that insulin was never, the inventors of insulin never took out a patent on it. So there's no residuals on insulin, and there was never meant to be. So it was meant to be, again, a life-saving drug that was given out inexpensively to assist individuals. So
don't forget though that we have all this stuff at the hands of the same people who remember the $600 toilet seat and the $400 hammers. These are the same people that are finally coming around and saying, oh, well, we can maybe negotiate some drug prices.
Don't you pay $600 for a toilet seat?
Not anymore.
You used to.
I'm not Donald Trump.
Now
honey. I don't have a golden toilet seat that's worth $600. Sorry.
Okay. I think that toilet seat's a lot more than $600 though.
Comment.
So if someone is out there, go ahead and Google how much a gold toilet seat would be and put it in the comments. We would. The curious would like to know.
You think that information's actually out there? It might be, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was one of a kind. You never know. Okay. Back to the news.
Okay.
So in an economic speech, Vice President Kamala Harris vowed to focus on helping middle-class Americans advance their economic security, stability, and also dignity as she rolled out some of her economic priorities today at a speech in North Carolina. And there she is. Now, Trump targets Harris. There he is with all of those groceries yesterday at his country club. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump, surrounded by an array of grocery products, slammed Harris's economic policy and the White House's handling of the economy at a news conference at his golf club in New Jersey yesterday. He made more than 20 false claims during the lengthy address and said that he was entitled to make personal attacks on Harris. Now, Jeff, when do you think the last time that Donald Trump went to the grocery store?
I don't think he's ever gone to a grocery store. Except for the one time when he said that they tried to card him to buy a loaf of bread.
What? They tried to card him for buying a loaf of bread?
He claims that you need to have an ID in order to buy groceries at the grocery store. That you had to have an ID in order to buy a loaf of bread. That's a couple of years old now, so but he still thinks that.
Well, again, that having all those groceries, and then again, that was a way for his handlers to try to get him on a topic rather than going off script and going off on Vice President Harris. Well, of course he did.
You might as well spit in one hand and wish in the other.
I wonder what they do.
Rein the man in.
I wonder what they did with all of those groceries.
They're probably empty boxes.
You mean they cut they took the stuff out and just put the boxes up there?
Wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. What do I know?
All right. Well, hi there. This is a Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Now, you are a veteran, correct?
I am.
Okay. So please do not start shooting at your screen on this next story.
I make no promises.
Trump says that the civilian award is much better than the Medal of Honor in the latest comments disparaging military service. Former President Donald Trump on Thursday said that the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which honors citizens, is actually much better than the Medal of Honor because service members who receive the nation's highest military decoration are often wounded or awarded it posthumously. Posthumously? Okay. How do you
with him posthumously?
But posthumously. Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That fits.
That's it. Okay. I went to ministerial school. I did not go to just jockey school. All right. Which I did though. Trump was praising Republican mega donor Miriam Adelson, whom he awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom while in office during remarks at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Miriam, I watched Sheldon Adelson, her late husband, sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award that you can get as a civilian. It is equal to the Congressional Medal of Honor, but the civilian version, it's actually much better because everyone who gets the Congressional Medal of Honor as soldiers, they're either in very bad shape because they've been hit by so many bullets or they're dead, said Trump. Now, Adelson, she gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman, and they're rated equal, he said. It is the latest in Trump's history of making disparaging comments about military service. What the HE double toothpicks is he doing? Here, people risk their lives to defend this country, and they make it to the point that they get a Congressional Medal of Honor for their valor. And then, because Trump doesn't like them shot up or crippled, and again, he said this remark several times. This is not new for him. But to go ahead and to say remarks like this, again, Miriam Adelson, more than likely, again, that high buck donor, probably did some charity work, got the Medal of Honor or the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But I don't understand how somebody goes ahead and ticks off a big voting bloc that actually do support Donald Trump. Your thoughts, Reverend Jeff Radcliff?
Well, they've only been giving out the Medal of Freedom since I think Kennedy started it. He gave it to 31 people in 1963. And I was trying to do some quick math to figure out how many have been given the award since then. It's less than 500. However, the Medal of Honor has been around since the Civil War. Mm-hmm. And there's been about 3,000 people who have been on the receiving end of that. However, a lot of them were, like you said, awarded posthumously. But these were people who put their lives, these were military people who put their lives on the line for the country. Now, that's not to say that the Medal of Freedom winners didn't do some pretty hefty things to aid our country. But, when you consider that a lot of these were artists, Pablo Casals, the cellist, got one. Marian Anderson, the classical contralto, first African American to sing at the Metropolitan Opera, by the way. Mm-hmm. They gave them to scientists, they gave them to artists, they gave them to singers. The head coach for swimming at Yale University back in 1963 got a Medal of Freedom. So, that when you put the two together, mm-hmm. one is a little less prestigious than the other, simply because we're talking heroes versus people who did some pretty interesting, cool things. But
yes, people actually watch your show, and they're smart too. Yeah. And we have from Grace Notes from the Universe, solid gold toilets at Benham Palace? Is it Benham Palace? Is estimated worth $1 million.
Oh, okay.
Now, Jeff, you go out to your local Home Depot and you buy one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll run right out and do that.
Grace also says, he was sucking up to a donor. His father paid off the family doctor to say that he had bone spurs to keep him from Vietnam.
And that is definitely not Medal of Honor criteria. Did you know that there are 8 presidents who have received the Medal of Freedom?
Wow.
8 including, and I'll tell you, including Joe Biden when he got it when he was vice president. Kennedy, Johnson, Reagan, Ford, Carter, George H.W. Bush, Clinton, and Joe Biden. You know whose name's not going to be on that list?
Let's.
But he's got his $1 million toilet, so it's okay.
Well, he has $1 million toilet, so come on.
Well, it's a toilet, though. Considering the job it does and where it's located and what all needs to be done to keep it in prime working order, I'm sure it probably devalues very quickly. Like how your car depreciates once you get off the lot? Yeah.
Okay. Enough toilet humor.
Yeah. Toilet humor. Yeah.
All right. Here you go. The first presidential debate between Harris and Trump will take place in Philadelphia. ABC News announced that September 10th political presidential debate will be held in Philadelphia at 9 p.m. Eastern. The debate was originally accepted by former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden before the latter dropped out of the race. Trump agreed to the September debate after saying that he would not debate Vice President Kamala Harris if she did not agree to attend a proposed Fox News debate on September 4th. Harris, who had previously agreed to the ABC debate, confirmed her participation last week and said that she would be happy to discuss a further debate. All right.
But she's not going to Fox News. Not prior.
No, I don't think so. But I just, you know what? It would be interesting to see if she did, though. Now, personally, this is my view. Again, I'm always thinking here at the New Thought Media Network. That's why I get paid the big bucks, because I'm always thinking. I think this debate should be on pay-per-view and billed as a cage death match of the century. And then any money raised would go to pay off kids' lunches. What do you think?
It's an idea.
In other news today, Donald Trump named Linda McMahon as the head of his transition team if he gets back into office. Mrs. McMahon was a former World Wrestling Entertainment executive, married to Vince McMahon, who's in a whole lot of legal trouble right now. A fun fact. What now?
He's been in trouble for years. So.
Well, he is now. There was some money paid and stuff happened and, mistresses and things like that.
Ooh, does Stormy know about this?
I don't think Stormy cares. A fun fact is that Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame.
I'm just trying to picture him holding up those signs as he walks around the ring announcing,
No, that's not going to happen.
He wasn't a ring girl?
No. No,
Oh,
you're thinking about somebody else. Maybe J.D. Vance did that.
boxing.
He was caught in drag.
He was. And,
Uh,
and he and my dude, Tim Walls, are actually going to debate. He got him off the, got him to agree to do a debate in October.
well, in other news here, bulletproof glass will surround the former president at his campaign rallies moving forward. As the Secret Service aims to increase security on the campaign trail, the heightened safety measures are being implemented in the wake of the assassination attempt against Trump at his rally last month in Butler, PA. Additional precautions also include increasing the number of agents and certain technological changes, a senior official told CNN. Ballistic glass is commonly used to protect sitting presidents and is moved into place by the Department of Defense. For Trump, the Secret Service will strategically place the glass across the country where the former president is expected to visit in the lead up to the November election.
I wonder why it took him so long to do this.
I don't know.
In the open air doing rallies and things for forever, and you would have thought that after this incident a few weeks ago that they'd have done it immediately.
And again, we this country, again, we just need to take the high watch here in this country. And again, I'll point out some things, but again, I'm urging everyone here, please. The one thing that you can do is go vote. Make sure that you're registered to vote. If it's been a while, still make sure that you're registered to vote. The day of the election is not the day to check. And then you start yelling at the poll workers, okay? Those poll workers are going to be stressed out enough dealing with other people. So make sure that you're registered in your state, and also please go vote. That's the one thing that will turn this thing around here. Your comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
I totally agree.
All right. All right.
I've got very little to say about the news that I've been seeing lately. There's just so much negativity involved. There's so much ugliness involved that I've kind of tried to step back a little bit from it in an effort to maintain my own inner peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there are, again, there's some attempts here to try to end the Mideast war. Mediators in talks for a ceasefire agreement between Hamas and Israel are making a last-ditch effort this week to revive stalled negotiations as the Mideast braces for another Iranian attack on Israel. A high-stakes meeting concluded on Thursday and will resume today, and from latest news reports, it has concluded. In the meeting, Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S. were expected to present a plan to implement a deal that could bring about a ceasefire in the 10-month-long war in Gaza and free the remaining hostages. While inconclusive so far, Thursday's talks marked a promising start, said National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby. And we've also have received reports that the Ukraine is making headway against Russian troops and invading Russian territory. So again, our high watch here is for all of that to end and for negotiations to take place, rather than each person, killing each other, is starting to recognize the divine in each other.
That would be good. That would be awesome. I don't know that enough people, well, it doesn't take but but one really good effort, I guess would be the word to use, to turn our focus toward peace, and we could see it achieved. But I'm seeing a lot of people go back and forth with their opinions and who's wrong and who's right, and this one did this and that one did that, and nobody's focusing on the peace. And I appreciate you bringing that out, because it needs to be addressed. We could be doing more, and it starts within ourselves.
Right.
We create from the inside out, and we can't expect to create anything that's going to outpicture in our world if we don't have it within. Right. And so it behooves each of us to, and this is a part of the talk that I'll be giving next month at a CSL in Atlanta, Midtown, next month.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, well, there you go. but we have to focus on our inner peace in order to allow it to express outward into the world.
Absolutely. And there is a new book out, I think it's called Circle of Love, about Shane Claiborne's group in Philadelphia. What they do is they go around the country and they gather guns, and they go ahead and they melt the guns, melt the metal, and turn them into gardening implements. So taking weapons of war and turning them into implements of peace. So
the modern way of beating our swords into plowshares.
They are from Isaiah. Yes. All right. Let's go take a break, and then we'll be back. And then I got a couple good ones for you.
Okay.
Including my favorite story of the week.
Okay.
And we'll be right back here. And hi there. This is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Good to have everyone with us this evening. All right. Happening this week at Summit CSL, we have a wonderful service every Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Time, and that is 7:30 Pacific Time. For information on how to get onto the Zoom call, it's real simple. The meeting numbers are online at summitcsl.org, and then you'll type in the special password, which is available on the website, and then come and join us. I believe that we have a wonderful service that balances what I call the 3 M's, and that's music, message, and meditation. And this Sunday, our spiritual director and also one of Jeff Radcliffe's married girlfriends, of which he has several of them, Diana Mangus, our spiritual director, will be giving the talk this Sunday, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific Time. That's in the morning. So all my West Coast friends, yeah, I know it's early, but again, get your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, and come join us. It is a great time. All right, time for us to go to break, and then we'll be right back. This is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity, Kitchener. Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa. Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center. Begin Within Ministries. Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Unity of Savannah. And the Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
And I'm the only one on this network that has that kind of disclaimer, because the legal department here at NT Media, they wanted me to have it.
Well, you're the only one that needs it.
No, it's because you're on my show.
I'm surprised they haven't made me do a disclaimer.
All right. I have next one I've been waiting to play for you here. This was a video that was sent to me by a common friend of ours, the Reverend Dr. Tim Stewart, who is the president of the International New Thought Alliance. Tim sent this to me. This is a sermon by Texas representative and also seminarian James Del Tallarico. This was given at his home church here. And I want you just to listen to it. It was about this, the proliferation of what is called Christian nationalism. So please pay attention.
Was a Baptist preacher. I've been a member of this church since I was 2 years old. And now I'm in seminary studying to become a minister myself. My faith means more to me than anything. But if I'm being very honest, sometimes I hesitate before telling someone I'm a Christian. There is a cancer on our religion. Until we confess the sin that is Christian nationalism and exorcise it from our churches, our religion can do a lot more damage than a six-pack of Lone Star. There is nothing Christian about Christian nationalism. It is the worship of power, social power, economic power, political power in the name of Christ. And it is a betrayal of Jesus of Nazareth. He told us we would know them by their fruits. Jesus includes, Christian nationalism excludes. Jesus liberates, Christian nationalism controls. Jesus saves, Christian nationalism kills. Jesus started a universal movement based on mutual love. Christian nationalism is a sectarian movement based on mutual hate. Jesus came to transform the world. Christian nationalism is here to maintain the status quo. They have co-opted the Son of God. They've turned this humble rabbi into a gun-toting, gay-bashing, science-denying, money-loving, fear-mongering fascist. And it is incumbent upon all Christians to confront it and denounce it.
Amen.
How did this happen? The first followers of Jesus didn't call themselves Christians. They called themselves the Way. Their crucified teacher taught them a different way of being human, and they intended to follow it. The early church was a revolutionary community built on radical love. a peculiar people who shared all their possessions and refused to participate in the economy, the military, or the culture. The book of Acts tells us that the first Christians were persecuted for turning the world upside down. But 300 years after Jesus was executed by the Roman Empire, Emperor Constantine made Christianity the official state religion of that very same empire. Constantine was the first Christian nationalist. Pro-war, pro-wealth, pro-white supremacy. That original countercultural movement became a tranquilized, privatized, weaponized religion, the official sponsor of Western civilization. A religion of sharing became a religion of greed. A religion of peace became a religion of violence. A religion of forgiveness became a religion of judgment. A religion of ego transformation became a religion of ego affirmation. Today, Christian nationalists obsess over people's private parts while the planet burns. The Bible doesn't mention abortion or gay marriage, but it goes on and on about forgiving debt, liberating the poor, and healing the sick. Christian nationalists like to say this is a Christian nation. Not only is that historically inaccurate, not only is that theologically blasphemous, but it's also just not true. Look around us. If this was truly a Christian nation, we would forgive student debt. If this was truly a Christian nation, we would guarantee healthcare to every single person. If this was truly a Christian nation, we would love all of our LGBTQ neighbors. If this was truly a Christian nation, we would make sure every child in this state and in this country was housed, fed, clothed, educated, and insured. If this was truly a Christian nation, we would never make it a Christian nation, because we know the table of fellowship is open to everybody, including our Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, and atheist neighbors. Jesus could have started a Christian theocracy, but love would never do that. The closest thing we have to the kingdom of heaven is a multiracial, multicultural democracy where power is truly shared among all people, something that's yet to exist in human history. My granddad.
Your thoughts, Reverend Jeff Radcliff?
Well, first he starts out by telling that his grandfather was a Baptist preacher, but Mr. Tallarico is Presbyterian, and he's attending Austin Presbyterian Seminary in Texas. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of respect for him. Everything that he said is historically and biblically sound. I have no complaints whatsoever with him.
No, I just this concerns me, and there's nothing Christian about Christian nationalism, and there's nothing Hindu about Hindu nationalism over in India. In our country, the candidate of choice of these Christian nationalists is Donald Trump.
Who
3
is
failed marriages.
A nationalist?
What?
Who's just a nationalist because he is not Christian.
So the Christian nationalists, they worship power instead of God, and they cloak it in religion. And again, look up anything on Project 2025, and you'll find out that some really interesting things. And I say this again because I don't want us to run from some of the things that are out there, and to be informed about them, and also to make choices about them. So my question is this, though, Jeff, is that let's say that they would get into influence or power. So what brand of Christianity or what denomination is the correct one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the same token, they're wanting to put the Bible back in schools, but they're not telling which Bible they want to use. And there are as many Bible translations out there as there are Christian denominations. Somebody's going to be happy because they were the ones chosen, and others are not going to be happy because they were overlooked. it's a very slippery slope, and they're skiing down this thing like Jean-Claude Keely.
So that's why I'm saying again that this is something to pay attention to, and a great book to read. It's by Tim Alberta, who is a columnist and also a journalist. It's called "The Kingdom, the Power, and the Glory," about Christian nationalism in this country. And the one thing that we can all do this November is vote, 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 and vote. That's the one thing that we can do, is to vote and to encourage others to go out there and to vote your values. That's the thing that will stop this. It's only 1/3 of the country, I would say maximum 40%, that believes this way. However, it's a very powerful voice out there, and they have several different media channels to go ahead and to voice their opinion. So again, The Kingdom, the Power, and the Glory by Tim Alberta. That's your reading assignment. And also just go vote. Your opinion, Jeff Radcliff.
I'm in full agreement with you. In order to make our voice heard, we need to do something about it, and that is go to the polls. I've been keeping an eye on some of the comment sections on different websites that offer news, and seeing a lot of weird stuff going on out there. But the fact remains, and one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of is everybody saying, "Oh, well, we need term limits for people in Congress," and I'm like thinking to myself, we already have term limits. It's called the ballot. We need to stop if you've got a problem with the incumbents, why do you keep voting them in there? If you've got a problem with the incumbents, vote them out, vote somebody else in.
Absolutely.
That's what it takes, is a vote. And
absolutely.
We each have a vote. The Electoral College kind of renders a lot of our votes moot. As a liberal Democrat living in the state of Tennessee, which has a super Republican majority in both houses as well as the governorship, my vote doesn't count at all down here. And I'll see people say, well, write to your congressman and tell them this and tell them that. And I'm like, I've done that. And I get these nice little smarmy emails saying, oh, well, we'll take it under advisement. And I'm not on that committee, but if it comes up for a vote, I'll remember what you have to say. And you know that they're not, because they think they can cruise on through because they've got the majority.
Absolutely.
It's time for those who are disenfranchised when it comes to their vote. And I use that term kind of under advisement, because there are people out there who are really and truly disenfranchised when it comes to voting. But being a Democrat in a solidly red state kind of sort of disenfranchises you. But if enough of us were to go out to the ballot box and cast a vote, we could stand a chance at turning things around.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing that we can do.
Absolutely. And I think that, again, that's something that tangibly people will say, well, I'm just one vote. Yes, you are. You're an important vote. Please go out there and do that. Okay, Jeff, before we run out of time, my story of the week. This is for you.
All right.
Florida school board passes chaplain's plans following interest from ministers of Satan.
Okay.
It is especially notable since Ron DeSantis signed a measure at the high school in Osceola County where the school board pulled the program. A Florida school board paused a plan for a chaplaincy program after receiving First Amendment concerns and interest from the Satanic Temple. There you go. No, that is not a picture of Jeff Radcliff at the last Pride convention.
No. My horns go the other direction.
Okay, all right, real good. So in a move that school officials present said was rare, the Osceola County School Board pulled the plan from consideration during its Tuesday meeting. It highlighted the complexities and complications that the school district faces in implementing a new law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis this year that allows volunteer chaplains to provide support services for public K through 12 students. And it's especially notable since DeSantis signed that measure at a high school in Osceola County during a press conference where the superintendent himself spoke in support. So fast forward nearly 4 months, and the school board voted 3-2 to take the policy out of a bundle it was voting on for the next academic year. The school board members in the majority said that the concern was brought to them shortly before the meeting warranted more discussion. The Satanic Temple, for example, sent the board an email on Tuesday saying that they were enthusiastic about the opportunity that this policy presents for our ministers of Satan. John Arguello, who is a conservative member, bashed what he called the last-minute concerns his colleagues brought forward at Tuesday's meeting. He said that I think it was the intention of the board members all along to vote this down. This, to me, is a very blatant and obvious sinking of a program that the governor came and started here. While the start of the school year is already underway, the Osceola County School Board is the first in the state that has acted upon a chaplain program, according to the Council of Florida Churches. The council itself, along with the American Civil Liberties Union of Florida, has been watching out for it. Both organizations have expressed opposition to the measure since it made its way through the 2024 legislative session. Reverend Joe Paramore, who is the legislative director of the council, said this: "We were opposed to it from the get-go because we don't think public school systems are a place for this. We think that spirituality and spiritual growth of any family is left up to the family. The bill authorizes school districts and charter schools to adopt a policy for chaplains to provide support services and programs for students. It does require parental consent before a student meets with a chaplain, who must undergo a background check. It also mandates that districts publish a list of chaplains on its website and for school principals to inform parents about them." So the letter reads this. He says, "Untrained chaplains lack the necessary qualifications and the expertise to address the diverse spiritual and religious needs of the students in a sensitive and inclusive manner." The letter reads, and it says, "By using individuals without proper training, we risk marginalizing students from a non-dominant faith background or those who identify as non-religious." The Satanic Temple has also been commenting on the school chaplain measure since the USA Today Network Florida asked the IRS recognized religious group about it late Wednesday. It says, "We look forward to working with you to introduce the nation's first satanic school chaplaincy in Osceola County, Florida."
You know, that program had potential to do some good things.
Maybe.
Well, but what they did was try to restrict who, would get to be a chaplain. And it's not got anything to do with the training or the background of these people. They just wanted to be sure that it was the right kind of Christian. And if it's not a Christian, so, they're focusing on the Church of Satan and they're shutting down the whole program because they don't want them involved. But were they going to have this open to religious leaders from the Hindu faith or Muslim imams or
Judaism?
Anybody else? Jews. Yes, exactly. Judaism. If you're not Christian, does this, they pulled it because of one group, but were they going to pull it for anybody else?
So let me explain to individuals when you are a chaplain at a hospital and a staff chaplain, which means that you're paid, you are highly trained to honor the religious background of everyone that you come in contact with and to be a good listener more than anything else. And if you violate that policy, you are sent to the curb very quickly. So when you are a chaplain at a hospital, that is your role, is to be just a really good listener and also to be the presence of deity there for the patient if they want it. Now, if they really cared about the kids, then go ahead and hire social workers. Why don't they hire social workers to do the same thing? That's their job. That's what they're trained to do, is to intervene, is to counsel. Not pastors who, again, they receive some training in counseling, but their answer to life's problems is always their interpretation of deity. So that's why I'm saying is that, yes, it's my favorite story of the week, because that, you go ahead and you're opening a big can of worms here by inviting in chaplains, and that you can't limit it to just who you want in there, Pastor Joe from the First Assembly, who's going to try to convert kids to Christ and also to his church. Because he's not there for free, okay? He's there to get converts. Mm-hmm. So there's no free in this. They may be volunteering their time, but they count it as an outreach of their ministry.
All right.
Your comments, Jeff Radcliff.
I'm glad that they pulled the plug on it, because there is no way that they could hold up to the rigors of a chaplaincy program in a hospital or a nursing home or any other entity. This was bad law from the beginning, and it was built broken, and I'm glad they're going to tear it down, because it's not going to work.
You're not going to believe this.
We're out of time.
Boy, an hour flies by fast when you're on.
Mm-hmm, it does. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to bat around some ideas and to try to bring some level-headedness and some spirituality to the topics that we chose to talk about tonight. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. All right. Time for us to go. And again, thank you to Jeff Radcliff for being with us this evening. Lots of wonderful things happening on our network. Go to ntmedia.org for more info. Again, if you could, please support us by donating. ntmedia.org/donate. Your contributions really go a long way for us, not only to keep the lights on, but also for us to be able to go through the open doors that are given to us on a daily basis. So again, ntmedia.org/donate. Again, thank you so very much. On behalf of myself and Jeff Radcliff and the rest of our staff here at the wonderful New Thought Media Network, I am Reverend Michael, and I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night and a wonderful week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.